as a former mayor of a major city during a time of civil unrest, that it is incredibly difficult for urban police departments to manage protests in a way that ensures safety and enabling for the rightful First Amendment expression that is at the core of our democracy. It is incredibly difficult for the best trained urban police departments who undergo extensive training in de-escalation, in understanding constitutional protections under the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, understanding how to properly arrest citizens who are engaged in unlawful conduct. Leave urban policing to the experts. We don't need the military involved. This deployment of the National Guard troops is a reckless misuse of the very good and well-intentioned citizens who serve in our National Guard. Their service as citizen soldiers must not be abused in this way. We can clearly see the plan of this administration. It is to inflame the situation, to insert and militarize the situation in ways that we know will necessarily cause some to want to react. This administration will look for any excuse to seize control from civilian authorities and ultimately to invoke the Insurrection Act and impose martial law. For that reason and for many other reasons, we encourage all protesters, do not take the bait. We will continue to speak loud. We will speak clearly. We will speak forcefully, but we will always act without the use of force. That has to be at the core of our mission, and I encourage all protesters here throughout the state, throughout the country, to please do not provoke. We must use our voices and never our hands. Since 1878, the Posse Comitatus Act has prohibited the use of military, the U.S. military on U.S. soil for domestic law enforcement. That law is unequivocal, provides very narrow exceptions, and other very narrow exceptions in federal law. And it is unequivocal because it provides the sanction for violating is a 2-year term imprisonment. That is, it is a crime to unlawfully use the military on U.S. soil. Now, this president has invoked a very specific provision under Title 10, which can be used against invasion, rebellion, or is unable to implement federal law. Even under that provision, he must act through the governors of the states. Our governor has objected to this use of National Guard troops. For that reason, this administration must stand down. This is a time for all of us to de-escalate, to take a step back, and to allow our constitutional institutions to work. I am proud to be here with many colleagues. I will be concluding with
Agent provocateur. Agent provocateur.